Max. First question for you.
How you doing, Cindy? This is Max Going from the Going Live podcast. I just had a quick question. Obviously, you're a veteran of this sport, but how are you feeling being on the main event for PFL6?
It's a big honor. I'm very, very happy with that. I feel blessed that I get this opportunity. So I want to say thank you for PFL to raise Safer for that. It's always been a dream to have a fight like this. And for a main event, it's like a dream coming true. So yeah, it's great.
Thanks so much and good luck.
Thank you.
Roz.
Hi, how are you, Cindy?
Hi, I'm okay.
Nice to hear, Cindy. So this is Raz from Everything MMA Era. Just a bit more on the main event itself. Can you elaborate a bit more on the fight itself from your personal point of view? And in terms of preparation, mentally, is this the same as any other fight, or do you feel like this is special? So you did a lot different.
I did a lot different because I wasn't able to go back home. So I had to stay away from home, from my kids, from the place where I belong for 2.5 months. So I needed to change my whole mindset and focus on preparing. So normally I'm always working. I'm having my kids. I'm having my full-time things I need to do. And now it was only training, staying focused, and handling the missing home, actually, because I've been a little homesick. So that was totally different in case of preparation. But for fights, I always focus on me. So I didn't like the game plan is doing me. I'm not gonna be a total different fighter suddenly because I'm fighting the champion. I'm gonna go there and try to do me as the best way I am, as the best way possible.
Thanks for that, Cindy. And one more. Personally for you, what would it mean to pretty much conquer the fight and shock the world and get this win?
Oh, again, I didn't understand it really well.
Okay, so personally for you, what would it mean to get the win and beat Kayla on such a big stage?
It would mean a lot to me because I'm trying to set an example for my children. We've been through a very, very rough time lately, and still I kept pushing myself and trying to get the best out of me and to show them that they can overcome anything. They can hunt their dreams, whatever happens. So if I would be able to take the win, that would mean a lot to me because that would be. That would show them that hard work really pays off.
Okay, Cindy, thank you very much and best of luck on Thursday, okay?
Thank you.
Do it for Europe.
Breeze.
Hey, Cindy, it's Breeze with the MMA Breeze. You said, you said that, you're not going to change your game plan. You're going to continue to be you, but you both have a judo background. And I just wanted to get your perspective on how you see the grappling exchanges going in the bout with Kayla.
Well, we both have a judo background indeed, so that makes it very interesting. I do think Kayla has better judo than I do. Like I know that, but on the other hand, I am not scared to fly. I'm not scared to be taken down. And on the ground, I also have my judo background, but I've been grappling many, many years. So I have slick tricks too on the ground. And I think I showed that during my career. I think most wins of me were by submission. So that's going to be very interesting. I think Kayla's armbar is really good and her ground and pound is massive. But I have flexible hips and good moves myself. So yeah, that's it's going to be interesting.
Awesome. Thanks so much and good luck.
Thank you.
Curtis.
Hi, Cindy. This is Curtis Calhoun with Low Kick MMA. Obviously, you've had a lot of experience over your career, as mentioned earlier. What are your thoughts on the state of women's MMA today, especially now with fighters like yourself and Kayla being in a main event?
Well, we are not there yet, but I think PFL is doing a great job promoting women MMA and also promoting the bigger girls because those devastating weight cuts aren't very good for us either. So I'm happy that they're putting the work in, and with girls like Kayla and Clarissa coming up, things are going to change. So it's very nice to see that things are changing, but we are not there yet. And I think in the United States, we are a little bit farther than in Europe. So I hope Europe will follow up pretty soon, and we'll have more main events with females on their cards too. So yeah, I'm happy with how it's changing, but we still have a way to go.
Thanks, Cindy.
Ronald?
This is Ronald E. Smith from Getting Real. Cindy, how are you?
Hi, I'm okay. Feeling fit.
Very good. As we know, you're coming off a loss, so you're right now in the rankings, you're down. So I would like to know, how do you concentrate on getting the win, but also too, knowing that you also have to get a knockout to get in the clinch and get in the tournament?
I don't try to focus on the tournament right now. I try to focus on the fight itself, because Kayla is the biggest name in the tournament. So for me, it would always come to a point where I have to fight Kayla and where I would have to try to beat her. So I'm not really focused on points, or there's no pressure. I don't take that pressure on my back because I already have the pressure of fighting the best in the division. So if it happens, it happens. And even if not, I'm gonna have fun, enjoy my time, enjoy this fight, trying to perform my best. So PFL wants to keep me a little longer.
And it's just to go on training, have you changed anything to prepare for Kayla?
The thing I changed is that my training partner had to go southpaw. That is one thing I changed, but no, we've been really focusing on me. I don't want to be another fighter. I think the best game plan for me is pushing my strengths and not focus on Kayla's weaknesses, because I don't think she has many.
And last question, throughout your career, just to get to this moment right now, what have you learned from yourself from when you first started to where you are right now?
Well, when I first started, I only trained 4 months. When I had my first fight, it was immediately a pro fight. I just took it because I had no idea what I was doing. But what I learned and what I will do with my daughter is I will handle her body carefully. The biggest mistake I made through my career is accepting fights on weight classes where I don't belong, Okay, now I'm a little small for a 155er, but at least I'm healthy. My body's healthy. I'm not punishing my body with ruining my kidneys or doing massive weight cuts where I get injured. And that's the biggest thing I learned through my career, that I'm supposed to fight healthy. So that's featherweight or lightweight. And for my daughter, that's what that's the wisdom I'm gonna give her. There is no weight cutting until she goes pro, and when she goes pro, the weight cutting will be not too much.
Thank you.
Michael Morales.
Hey, Cindy, how are you?
Hi, I'm okay. How are you?
Everything good here. Thank you very much for your time. I wanted to ask, this will be a main event match against Kayla Harrison. Is your daughter going to be watching this fight? And how do you feel knowing that she's going to be watching her mom in the main event this Thursday?
She's going to be watching. She's going to be watching from home, from her little computer. I am very sad she cannot be here with me, but due to the COVID rules, I wasn't able to fly her out. Otherwise, I for sure would have. But yes, she's going to be watching. I'm 100% sure she's going to be up in the night, and she will be online to watch the fight.
Thank you very much for your time, and good luck on Thursday.
Welcome.
Dylan?
Hey there, Cindy. Appreciate you making some time.
Hi, Dylan. Well, thank you for your time.
I was just curious because, in between your last couple fights there was close to a 1.5 year long gap between there. I'm kind of curious, was there any level of cage rust that you felt? And as an extension of that, do you think that things are going to be a little more casual and fluid when you get out there with this quick turnaround here?
I don't think the cage rest was a problem. I just came out of pregnancy, so I had to work very hard to get back in shape. That's for sure. I did my job. I did what I had to do. I followed my game plan. I don't think the cage rest was a big problem. I felt fit. I felt good in the fight. But when you leave it into the hands of the judges, you never know what they're going to decide or what's happening. So, yeah, a decision loss. It is what it is. I'm taking it. I never cried about losses. I take them as a strong woman I am, and I just continue learning and moving forward. The thing is, when you have a year like I had, and you've been crying so much about things that really matter, that are really important, the moment you walk into the cage, you take that with you, So I feel I'm not going to cry about a judge's decision. Like, it's not something I lose, it's something I win, because other people decide what they think what was going on in the fight, but I know what I felt, and I was pushing my limits, and I was doing what I love to do. I'm here because I still love fighting. I have that passion in me, and I've been losing my mom, my grandmother, things in my family going on. That are things where I want to cry about. I don't want to cry about a decision loss. That's I felt heartbroken after the fight, but more because I felt I put all my effort in it, not because the results weren't there, because the judges decided something else. They didn't see what I felt. They didn't feel what I feel. But after the fight, like, all the emotions about losing my mom and still being there, that is something where I want to cry about.
And just as a quick follow-up, if I could, because you were talking about all of the struggles you've had to overcome and just like amazing resolve, but just, do you think you're heading into this fight just on the most like optimized, galvanized level you can be, just on the level of your physicality, but also just like overcoming so much? Like, are you in the most optimal all-around state coming up?
I don't really understand your question. Can you repeat it, please? Language barrier hitting me, Bam.
Oh, no, sorry. It's okay. I was just saying you've been able to overcome so much, and I think that's amazing. I'm just wondering if that's like really grown the already strong mental game that much further in your fight career.
The thing is, like, I'm a fighter in life, not only an MMA fighter. I'm a fighter in life. I fight for what I'm passionate about. I fight for my kids every day. I fight for the people I love. So fighting for MMA because I'm passionate about this sport, it's a blessing. It's a blessing that I can follow my dreams, and that I can still be here and perform at the highest level, even with the downs in my life. That is, it's something that pulls me up. It's something that makes me happy still. Although I had to miss my children now, that was hard. I would have loved to have them with me, but my sport makes me happy. Being in PFL makes me happy, and I'm very, very blessed that Ray is giving me this opportunity. And I really, really hope that I can show enough what kind of a fighter I am, what a heart I have for this sport, that I can stay in PFL a little longer, because after PFL, I don't think I have it in me anymore.
Thanks so much for the time and insight, Cindy. Much appreciated.
Welcome.
Thank you, Cindy. We really appreciate your time today. Thanks
Okay.
so much.
Thank you, boys. Bye-bye.
Yep, you can go now.
That's the way. Okay.
Thanks, Cindy. Bye. All right, guys, we're bringing up Lance. If you have a question for Lance, go ahead and raise your hand. All right. Empire Universe.
Hey, Lance. Luke from Empire Universe Podcast. How are you today?
Good. How's it going?
Not too bad, man. So what is the most important thing for you in this upcoming fight coming off a loss?
just to have fun and enjoy the moment, enjoy everything leading up to the fight. It's kind of been weird this season having the quarantines and everything like that, and then having some issues during last camp coming into the fight where I was supposed to fight June 10th, which basically took me out of being able to fight on that card. But everything feels great physically, mentally. Coming in here and being able to get right to the weight cut and get into fight week feels like the old days where everything was kind of normal. So it's actually really nice, and having this opponent it's actually the most motivated I've felt this year, to be completely honest, because I know Mobley's a guy that I respect as a fighter and as an opponent. And I know a little bit of his history of fighting because he's been with PFL since 2019. And just coming off of the loss in April, it was just, I know that wasn't me in there as far as mentally and physically. So I don't really take too much out of that fight. Obviously, it's a loss on my record, but coming into this one, it's super motivating, and I'm excited about it. And the way that it played out to be able to fight Mobley on this card it's been awesome. So I'm excited, and I'm glad that PFL was able to make it happen.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Tariq.
What's up, bro? It's Tariq from the Havoc Hour. What's going on, Lance?
How's it going, man?
I'm good, man. So basically, you and Mobley are fighting essentially for that last slot in the playoffs. But a decision win would get you guys in. But with the way the judges have been going, the last couple fights, do you have a little concern about if you get to a decision?
I don't think a decision win would get me in. No. I'd have to have a first round finish, yeah. But regardless of that, I'm just excited for the fight. Obviously, to get a win would be huge for me. Just as a great opponent and having a great fight, and going in and having fun in there, and just enjoying it, enjoy the fight, enjoy the process leading up to it. I haven't really enjoyed, like the last one, I didn't really enjoy any of the process leading into it. Obviously, there's a lot of outside factors, but for this one, I'm really excited about the fight with him and just getting in there and getting back in the win column. As far as the playoffs and the points and all that stuff go, I'm not really worried about that. I just want to go out and get a win and be able to enjoy it. If I make the playoffs, great. If I don't, it's great too. I mean, we'll figure out the future when that time comes, but I'm going to be able to enjoy this fight week and hopefully go out with a win and then go on vacation with my family.
Awesome, man. Also, we talked about like the quarantine, stuff like that, and having to miss the last fight. Has it been kind of frustrating to have all of this, time off between, having to be there 17 days to wait and then missing the last fight just to get it to this one this week?
I mean, I've made the most of my time, especially when I'm here. Like last time, even though I didn't fight, I was in here for pretty much the whole time, basically 11 days until before weigh-ins, and then I head out and made sure that everything was good on physical end of it. And I trained every day that I was in here and made the most of it. And Juan Archuleta was here with me for the 12-day one. So I made the most out of it. I didn't really make it a waiting thing, but mentally it definitely messes with you. It's a long process to sit in here and try to act like things are normal when the people in the regular casino are just going about their day and New Jersey's completely open and stuff like that. So it is definitely different now coming in and being here for fight week. And obviously, it's different when you quarantine. Until you've done it, you don't really understand it, I guess.
Awesome, man. Well, good luck this week.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Breeze.
Speaking of breeze, it's freezing in here.
Oh, hey, this is Breeze with the MMA Breeze. Sorry about the delay. I just wanted to ask, you said you had one in the last bubble with you. Who do you have this go around, if anybody, and how are you staying ready for your fight?
Yeah, Juan is on his way back. We were supposed to be here yesterday, but some flights and things got backed up. So he'll be here today and through the rest of this fight week. So super fortunate to have him with me the last time and this time, and it'll be good. He'll be here for basically like the last brunt of the weight cut with me, and all the hard training's done. I mean, I definitely, even though the fight didn't happen last time, physically I was fine. I just had to get checked out and make sure things were good from being on some antibiotics and things like that. So without getting in too much detail, I felt great and I was wanting to fight anyway, but they wanted it, obviously the fighter's safety and health comes first. So I'm excited they were able to reschedule me for this card, and everything's good to go. And I have an opponent that I'm actually excited to fight. So this is awesome.
Awesome. We're looking forward to it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Dylan?
Hey there, Lance. Appreciate you making some time.
Thank you.
I was just curious because I'd noticed that post on your Instagram about a week ago about the little Sour Patch Kid of yours turning 4 months old. So I wanted to wish a belated happy birthday there to Maya Rose.
Thank you.
And just as an extension of that, with like Father's Day just recently happening, you had the post about just how proud you are. Like, how much does that dynamic just even further galvanize your champion resolve heading into fights?
It's been cool. I don't think that gives me, I'm pretty motivated, self-motivated, I guess you could say, but it just gives me a different reason to be excited for fights and be motivated to go out and perform. I don't know. I hear a lot of other people who are dads who, with daughters or sons who say that that's their main motivation and that's like the sole thing that keeps them going. But for this whole situation of the quarantines and the fight camp right after she was born, I didn't really have that time at home with her early on in her life. So I mean, even up till now, really, I mean, I go home on weekends during fight camp, and I was able to be home last weekend for Father's Day. But I think the motivation for me is more just that I'm excited to go home and be with her and kind of work into our relationship. She's just now getting to the point where she's very active, and she can see, like, obviously on FaceTime, we're able to FaceTime a lot, and she knows who I am and knows my voice, knows my face. And it's crazy that I mean, even at 3 months, she was able to recognize me on FaceTime. It's like thinking of that in the 80s when I was a baby was insane for somebody to be that young and be able to recognize a face and a voice through a phone or iPad or computer is just crazy technology. But luckily we're able to do that. So I'm at least able to get, time with her through that until I'm done with this fight.
Yeah, well, hopefully that can come real soon for you, man, and you can enjoy the family time. Thanks for the insights.
Thank you.
Kelsey?
Hi, Lance. My name is Kelsey McCarson. I write for Heavy. I wanted to ask you, as far as I know, and what I've seen, when the PFL signs people, they signed a 3-year contracts. You're the 2-time champion and one of the most popular faces, I would say, in the PFL. And so I was wondering, is this the last year of your current contract? And if it is, do you feel like you're going to continue with PFL, or are you thinking about your future? What is your future going to be like?
I don't know. Obviously I make plans and I try to be as proactive as possible with things I can control. I believe this is the end of my contract as far as the seasons go, because the champion clause basically just extends it for the following year, which would have been last year technically. Okay. But it's this season being the 3rd season. So basically going off of the contract after my 2019 season. So this is the last, I believe, season on my contract, and I don't know. We'll see. They brought in a lot of people from other organizations recently, so I guess it just depends, where their funds are and what they plan to do, whether they decide to keep me here or if I go look elsewhere. I really don't know, but I mean, I guess that's something that I'll have to start looking into right after this fight and figure it out. But in the near future is just focusing on this fight and this opponent, and then obviously whatever the outcome ends up being, whether there's a playoff for me or not, then I'll start diving into the old contract negotiations.
Just a follow up to that, sometime last year, I think in a story at MMA fighting, you expressed that you felt like the relationship was beyond repair between you and the PFL. Has it been repaired?
I don't think it's been repaired, to be honest. I don't think there was really an effort to repair it either. So I don't think that's, I mean, it's not something I've dwelled on, to be honest, but that's something that'll definitely come up if we do go into a negotiation to either extend or do a new contract.
Okay. Best of luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Alex, Cage Side Press.
Hey, Lance, it's Alex from Cage Side Press. So you really haven't had to deal with opponent changes throughout your career. You've had a few in the last few weeks. Has that affected you at all?
It's been weird. 2019, actually, the guy I was supposed to fight in the quarterfinals of the playoffs, he didn't make weight, so I ended up fighting Almeida for a third time. And then when Pineda popped for whatever it was after the semifinals of that same playoff, I ended up fighting Gilpin again. So I've had to deal with, I mean, those are familiar faces, but they were opponent changes nonetheless. So I've kind of had to deal with it a decent amount in PFL, but this year definitely more than the rest. I mean, I was supposed to fight Lazar first on that June 10th card, and then it ended up being Stern. And then we got pulled from that card, and Stern fought someone else, actually Movlid's opponent. And then and now I'm fighting Movlid. But I'm excited about this fight. Honestly, if you look at all three of those opponents that I was supposed to fight, this is the most exciting and motivating for me. To be honest, it's hard to fight somebody who, one, nobody really knows, or two, doesn't really get you motivated to go fight. It's like, yeah, it's somebody you should beat, or it's somebody you should finish, or this or that. But fighting somebody who's tough and somebody who gets you up in the morning to be motivated to go out and fight and improve your career based off of a fight against them, that's what excites me. And, you know, this opponent is that guy for now. And obviously the fights that motivate me are people who excite me and people who make me nervous to get in there and fight, and people that have a real danger of beating me. And that's what motivates me. So this is a fight that actually gets me excited to go in there and fight. And I think that's something that I need right now.
Awesome. Thank you. And good luck, Lance.
Thank you very much.
Lance, thank you so much. We appreciate your time today.
Thank you, guys.
All right, we're bringing in Pettis. If you guys have a question for Pettis, go ahead and raise your hand. All right, Tanai.
Hey Anthony, this is Tanai from MMA Island. How's it going, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good. What do you make of your opponent, Hausch Monfils? You were obviously supposed to fight Alex Martinez on PFL4, and then you had this opponent switch. What do you make of your opponent?
Definitely different style. You know, watching his last fight, you know, his hands are a little more active than the guy I was supposed to fight. Coming from that Taekwondo background. So you know, just little small adjustments. I think honestly, what I've been doing is perfect. You know, I've been focusing on my boxing, my basics. When we get into that fight, you know, I gotta watch his boxing honestly. So, yeah, I think I'm doing the right things.
Awesome. Good luck, Anthony.
Thank you.
Aldrich?
Hey, it's Algebra from the Fight Dialogue. Congratulations on your baby girl, man. Talk to me about that experience. How was your Father's Day?
You said talk to you about the baby girl.
Yes, and how was your Father's Day overall too?
Oh man, it was an amazing Father's Day. So we set it up so I could make my last fight. So she was gonna be born on that Monday. So we already knew, you know, her birthday and everything coming into it. But I got sick right before that last press conference. So you know, I had to pull out, and you know, it's God's plan. You know, honestly, everything worked out perfect. My daughter's healthy, and you know, I'm back here and right back to work.
And how are you health-wise? You know, you said you got sick last time. So how are you feeling from the last time?
Man, I
and
just got
how?
sick. So right before the press conference, before going downstairs, my stomach was feeling like sour. You know, then we went down to the press conference. You know, I did the square off. I'm like, yo, I'm not nervous. You know, I've done this so many times. There's no way I'm nervous. Went back to my room, started throwing up, and you know, I had to call it because yeah, I think it was like a stomach bug or a flu or something. I don't know. It was like I just didn't feel right. And once I started throwing up, there was no way I could recover from that.
I'm glad to see you healthy, and congratulations again. And good luck to you on Friday.
Thank you, man.
Curtis?
Hey, Anthony, this is Curtis Calhoun with Low Kick MMA. My question for you is, what was it like to see your brother Sergio get the belt in Bellator, and how awesome is it for you to be on the same fight team at this stage in your careers?
Oh man, you know, I started this sport, you know, with no one to follow, and then you know, I brought in my little brother, and you know, my mom told me like he's your responsibility. You know, like, whatever happens to him, it's on you. So man, every time I watch his fights, I'm more nervous for his fights than my fights, and to see him, you know, achieve that goal, becoming the champion. He's actually here with me right now. We didn't get into like 2 a.m. last night. We've been through so much together, man. The highest highs, lowest lows, and to see him where he's at right now, you know, it's amazing, man. Like everything I wanted to happen for him is happening. So you know, I'm definitely blessed.
Thanks, Anthony. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Kelsey?
Hey, Anthony, congratulations on the baby, first of all. Super excited for you. What's it like? Like, you're going into this fight. This is the first time in your life that you're going into a fight that you know you need a finish to go on to what you want to do next. I know you knew kind of theoretically that was going to happen before, but now it's here. What are your thoughts and feelings about that?
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit you know, nerve-wracking where you're thinking about, you know, I need to finish. Not only do I gotta win, I gotta finish. But based on my last performance, man, like I'm putting that on myself. Like I know I need to finish. Whether there was points involved or not, like I didn't like how I looked in my last fight. And you know, I took that personal. I went back, I went to work, and I fixed little details that I needed to fix. You know, I forgot that you know, Aaron Rodgers still has a coach that shows him how to grab the ball properly. Like there's things that you got to have reminded on a daily. And I feel like I detached from that a little bit in that first camp. And this camp, you know, I'm just back to having fun with the process. You know, I really focused in on my boxing. I think in this style of fighting, hands are very important. So I definitely focused on that. And I think I'm gonna show it coming this Friday.
I think before your last fight was scheduled, you were your baby wasn't born, and then you got sick and the baby was born. Anyway, I was thinking, is it make it easier to go into the cage? Because what I was thinking was maybe when you get in the cage and your baby isn't born, maybe the whole time in there in the back of your mind, you're like, is my wife in labor? I don't know, right? So tell me about that. Is that true, or do you not think about stuff like that?
Oh, definitely true. Yeah. So we had to come out here 12 days for quarantine, and you know, my fiance was pregnant. We had the date set for Monday for my daughter to be born after my fight. But you know, you never know. She can come whenever she wanted to come. So that was definitely in the back of my mind. Like, you know, if I'm out here missing my daughter's birth, imagine explaining that. Like when she's 16 years old, like, yeah, I was quarantined for COVID and I was fighting in a tournament, so I missed your birth. You know, this is crazy thoughts going through my head. But she's here now. She's healthy, and you know, I'm back focused and ready to fight.
Thanks.
MMA locker room? Okay, we'll come back. Breeze?
Hey, Anthony, it's Breeze with the MMA Breeze. First off, I just want to say visibly you do look a lot healthier, so that's good to see. And we're excited to see you perform. But I wanted to ask, you know, you touched on it. You've been working a lot on your boxing. We've seen you in that old style gym. How has that worked in your camp up to this fight? And what reinvigorated the passion for the hands?
Just the last fight. You know, I went out that last fight, and this floor that I'm fighting on is a little slipperier than what I'm normally used to. And you know, I felt it when every time I kicked, I was slipping. So that was one of the big things I had to adjust. You know, I was like, you know, if I'm slipping on my kicks, I got to fix that approach to it. And then obviously the first guy I fought, the level of his hands was different than I expected. So. And I focused on that right away. You know, I took that upon myself. Like the way I looked in that fight, I just didn't like it. You know, I felt like I was sloppy. I was making bad decisions. I'm way better than what I showed out there in that fight. So I had to go back to the drawing board like I always do and get right back to work. And this time around, you know, I'm in Vegas. My daughter just was born. I have a lot of guys in Vegas that I train with, boxers, you know, MMA guys, kickboxers, jiu-jitsu, everything out there. But for some reason, you know, I couldn't find a good boxing coach to like take me in and like show me the way for mixed martial arts. Because if I go with boxing coaches, they teach me boxing drills and stuff. I found a guy who's teaching me the Cuban Mexican style that I'm looking for to finish guys, but also keep that range. And man, I'm loving it. You know, he plays the salsa music while we're training. Got the whole vibe in there. Tyson Fury's actually in camp with me. Well, he's in camp doing his camp, so you know, I see his work process. So it's a great environment, great atmosphere to be in, and I'm definitely blessed that you know George allowed me to be part of his team.
Right on. We're stoked to see you perform.
Thank you.
All right, MMA locker room. Try it again.
On the locker room radio, you're coming out that locker room when you're walking into the octagon. What's going on in your mind? Like, are you ready to kill? Are you ready to put on a Showtime performance? Or what's in the mental state of Anthony Pettis when he comes into that ready to fight?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. That's a good question. I mean, I missed the first part of the question, but I heard the end of it. So, you know, my mindset going into these fights, it just depends on who I'm fighting. Like this guy just said he's gonna knock me out. I was watching. I think my fiance sent it to me. It was like, yo, this guy said he's gonna knock you out in the first or second round or something. That makes me motivated. I mean, things like that, just little things like that. Like, dude, I've never been touched and like dropped in this octagon. I've never been. My finishes, like my losses are from decisions. Most of my losses are from decisions. So it's like. That right there motivates me to go kill. But sometimes, you know, it's like I want to put on a show. Last fight, I was trying to put on a show, and you know that's what the performance looked in that. So trying to find that right the right mindset to go in there and not only put on a show, kill, but also win is the process.
All right.
Yeah, I can hear him.
Drew.
Hey, Anthony, Drew Pierce, FightBeat.com. Going back to kind of your game plan going into this bout, obviously you're very aware of needing that finish to keep this going, but how much does that really play into your game plan, or is it kind of steady no matter the circumstance to go in there and just do your job?
Yeah, just to go do my job, man. I gotta find the range. I gotta find my flow, and once that happens, then the finish will come. If I go in there and put the finish before that part, then it's not gonna happen.
Thanks and best of luck.
Thank you.
Dylan.
Hey there, Anthony. Appreciate you making some time.
Of course.
I was just curious because, I mean, just so many different facets you've been involved with in the MMA space. It seems like also getting into some management stuff has been some recent, you know, efforts on your part, Showtime Group and everything like that. Can you talk about sort of that aspect of what you're doing and expanding into that part of the MMA space?
Yeah, you know, I started a Showtime Group a while back. We're just actually putting it in the public now. We did our first combine. We got about like 50 guys signed on me, from amateur to professionals to higher level pros. You know, the reason why it happened is my little brother and the guys at my gym. You know, I see these talented athletes coming up through my gym. I'm training with them. We're bleeding, sweating, you know, trying together. And then I pass them on to different managers that I was part of, and I've had so many managers. But I pass them on to these managers, and I'd see what they're getting from the managers as far as like a support. And, you know, I think I can do it better, and especially if they're homegrown guys. So that's where the Showtime Group started at. And then once we saw that flow, and we started that going, you know, we saw the market, that space that, you know, we can do this good. And, you know, my Showtime Fights shows coming up in October. I got another boxing show in December. It's just making a full circle again, you know, giving the guys an opportunity like I had. Like I came up fighting in a Harley Davidson dealership in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That was my first fight in a Harley Davidson dealership. And, you know, look where I, you know, took it to. So I think going back to Milwaukee first and putting it in there, giving these guys the opportunities, building my team up. I'm gonna be around MMA for the rest of my life. You know, this is what I love to do. It's my passion, and it's another avenue for me to be part of the sport.
Yeah, it really illustrates that you're a student of the game, and I appreciate you providing those insights, man.
Thanks.
Steve Irvine.
Hi, Anthony. It's Steve on behalf of MMA Lowdown. First of all, congratulations on becoming a dad.
Thank you.
So I just want to ask, if you defy the odds and win this fight in the first and then go on to win the tournament, this is going to be another big add to your legacy. Now, at this stage of your career, do you see yourself retiring at the top after this?
I couldn't hear you. Taking it to where?
Do you see yourself retiring at the top after this chapter, after adding such a big win to your already prestigious legacy?
What word is he saying? I don't even. Oh, no, retiring. No, not at all. I thought you said the title. No, retirement, man. Like, I feel like I'm only 34 years old, retiring, I'm getting better too. Like, now that I'm going to these boxing gyms and like finding new coaches, like I can feel the growth. Retirement from this sport, like, I don't think I'll ever lay my gloves down and be like, I'm done with this sport. This is my life. This is what I put everything into. I miss so many holidays and so many family events for this sport. And this is what I do, man. This is what I love. And I don't see myself retiring anytime soon.
No, that's good to hear. And it's going to be a pleasure watching you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alex, Cage Side Press.
Hi, Anthony. So you lost your PFL debut, but people might not remember that you lost your UFC debut as well, and then you went on a 5-fight win streak to win the title. I guess, is that the mission to go on a streak this next fight?
The mission was to not lose again, but things happen, man. And I think in this sport, it's different than any other sport. You're by yourself. You don't have a team that's in there with you. I mean, you got your team that gets you ready, but like it's all on you. If you go out there and you have a bad fight, it's your fault. It's not no one else's fault. And I think trying to figure out what mindset. The question before was good. Like the mindset going into the octagon, into the cage, is like very important. If I'm going to put on a show, if I'm trying to kill this guy, if I'm trying to finish him, I got to calm myself down to be like, all right, let me build the process up, because that's how I did it back then. So yeah, I'm going back to like Duke even mentioned that, like, you lost to Clay Guida, we won that title, man. Let's go back to work. And I feel like I've been here before. That's the best thing to say, is I've been here before. I know what I need to do, and I've done it.
I just had a quick follow-up. Did I see that you were starting your own promotion as well? Kind of like what Jorge Masvidal is doing?
Yeah, I already have. Well, we already had a fight promotion. I came up in my own fight promotion, actually. So I promoted, me and my coach promoted my earlier fights. It's called Gladiator Fighter Series. We stopped doing it for a while just because of COVID and where my career was going. But now we're bringing it back, and we're changing the name Showtime Fighting Series. So it's kind of just a continuation on of what Duke made in Milwaukee, and I felt passionate about it because there's really no place for my fighters to fight in Wisconsin right now, and now that everything's going back to normal, it makes sense. So yeah.
Afternoon, you've Stephen at Tesco. How can I help? What?
Awesome, and good luck.
All right, last question, Suki.
Thank you. Nice to talk to you, Anthony. I wanted to actually touch on the YouTube show you started. So everyone's really getting into your own YouTube channels, things like that. Saw the first episode, got a couple more to watch. So if you could just plug that, I'd love to know more about it.
Yeah, man, it's just giving the audience more access to my training camps in my life. I think that now that I got Showtime Group going and flowing, I see how important that is. So I'm trying to be like I'm doing all the trial and error on myself to show my fighters like how it works. And we're new to it too. We're just getting it going and having fun with it. But yeah, I think the more content you can create, the more eyes go upon you, and the more people want to watch you fight. So that's just all flows together.
Yeah, I mean, you're a showman, so I'm looking forward to that. Keep it going. Good luck this week.
I will, for sure. Thanks.
Thank you, Anthony. We appreciate you coming out.
Appreciate
today.
it.
Thanks for the
All right, guys.
time. All right, we're bringing up Brandon. If you have any questions for Brandon, go ahead and raise your hand. All right, Roz.
Hey, Brandon, how are you?
I'm all right. Yourself?
Very good, man. So, just before we kind of get into the next fight, the last fight against Usman, I mean, how did it feel to kind of prove everyone wrong? He was getting a bit of, publicity before it being Usman's younger brother. How did that feel for you personally?
It was fine. Like I knew he was, coming out of a big camp. So, luckily when with bigger camps like that, you can kind of expect certain things. There wasn't a whole bunch that I could, or my team could look up as far as his fights. You only had a couple of them that was posted online for us, obviously, to get tape and do our research like how you're supposed to. But other than that, I felt fine. Like he was an up and coming name. Good opportunity for me to go out and show that I'm the guy that's supposed to be competing here on this stage. So.
Okay, thank you. And just to follow up on that, in terms of this weekend now, both of you guys, you love a finish. Do you have anything in store for us? Do you see it going the distance, or what's your thoughts on the fight?
My goal is always to finish the fight as soon as I can. But Dennis is a veteran of the sport. He fought in 2019. He lost to the champ right at the end. And I know he's a good tactician too. He's going to try to pick his shots. He's going to try to throw a lot of punches and put me in a bad position. My job is to go out there and implement my game plan to the best of my ability and come out on top. So,
thank you very much, Brandon. Best of luck on Thursday, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Suki. Suki, are you with us? All right, we'll come back. Max.
Hey, Brandon, this is Max Going from the Going Live podcast. Just first and foremost, want to thank you for your service. But secondly, just want to ask you, you're originally scheduled to fight Fabricio. Obviously a big threat on the ground. Did you have to make any major changes to prepare for this new camp? Or new opponent, excuse me?
The notification was within the week of I found out who I was fighting. So a little modification, but not a whole bunch. Only because like when we found out, literally within the end of the week, I found out it was changing. So, we only were about a week into training when I found out Fabricio wasn't competing. So not a whole bunch of different strategy changes. We were just kind of ramping up and, not really fine tuning anything just of yet. So it was not a huge adjustment.
Thanks so much and good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Matt?
Hey, Brandon. Matt Purtle with the Beautiful Violence Show. First off, you fought a phenomenal fight last time out. It was hands down most entertaining fight in the entire card. And on top of that, you look like you just enjoyed yourself out there. Could you touch upon what fighting means to you at this stage of your life and your career?
Oh, absolutely. I definitely had a good time. It was good to be back into, the octagon or the cage, get out there and compete against a bunch of these, high caliber heavyweights. Yeah, where I'm at in my career, this is just a big opportunity. Proves that all the hard work and training that we put in, me and my camp, me and my team, has paid off. And luckily, Ray and his team has noticed and gave me the opportunity, along with my management team, Sucker Punch and Brian and his team, putting me on this platform to give me the opportunity to showcase my skill set. So I'm just grateful, really.
Thanks for the response. Hopefully we get an NFT of you at some point.
Not a problem.
Nicholas.
Brandon, Nico Suarez here. Your time in the Army always gets brought up because it's a big part of your career, but how did they help you kind of adapt and overcome the instability that comes with MMA with, last minute changes in opponents and all the craziness that can happen in MMA?
Definitely I lean on my training in the military. And when I go into a fight, the consistency, the repetition, the drilling, all that stuff comes with, being a soldier on a day-to-day, building a routine, following up, having different, strategies, different courses of actions, and being, having the ability to adapt is a big one. We talk about that a lot, only because, Mike Tyson said it the best, everybody's got a plan to get punched in the face. So you got to have the ability to change your plan when things aren't going your way, and, just kind of overcome the hard part of fighting, which is when you're not winning the entire fight. So.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tanai.
Hey Brandon, this is Tanai from MMA Island. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking.
This is obviously your second bubble experience with the PFL. How has it been and how has it affected your preparations for fights?
Not like the first time was a little different. Obviously, a little longer quarantine, a little longer in the bubble, but overall, it's been good. I brought, for them to allow as many people as they do into the bubble, as far as your team, for you to be able to train effectively is always good. So I brought two of my main guys. More would always be better as far as training partners, but working on specificity is always good, and that's always the goal. So they run a professional show. You know what I mean? There isn't anything that we don't need or that we can ask for that they aren't willing to accommodate. And we're, again, just grateful for the opportunity that the PFL has given us, and taking the risk mitigation into effect with COVID is huge. I deal with it on a day-to-day basis in the military. So that the fact that the PFL is thinking, the big picture and the safety of the fighters just shows how professional of an organization they are.
Thank you, Brandon. Good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Tariq?
Hey, Brandon, this is Tariq from the Havoc Hour. So, the PFL is all about stories, with their season format and everything like that. Obviously, we talked about in the last fight, the story was more about Usman, being the big name, and you were kind of the other guy in the equation. But now you're number 3rd in the rankings, and you're essentially just fighting to maintain your standings and get into the playoffs. Talk to me about how it feels now to kind of have that favorable position going into this week.
For us, it doesn't really change. The end goal is always being the champ. So we take each fight one at a time. The guy they put in front of me is the guy who we trained for. And then if there's changes to that, then we adjust. Being 3rd in the ranking is great because, don't have to worry about as much pressure of trying to, get those early points, which is super interesting as far as, the MMA game. Normally, you're not worried about a point scale. But with a season and you have a few fights ahead of you, it's not like a normal MMA environment where you're fighting, from contract to contract. This one gives you the opportunity to know that you're going to fight a few times, showcase your skills, whether you have a good day or a bad day, and continue to move on based on how not just you but your opponents perform. So,
thanks a lot, man. Good luck this week.
Thank you very much.
Dylan?
Hey there, Brandon. Appreciate you making some time.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
I was just curious because with the last 2 fights there, you had a pretty pronounced gap between the fights, almost 3.5 years. Obviously didn't reflect in the fluidity of the performance, but I'm more so just wondering how you're feeling heading into this one with just a much more quicker, succinct kind of turnaround.
I feel really good, actually. Normally in between fights, I kind of put on more weight than I probably should. But that goes with, living life, I guess. And so having a quick turnaround kept me very routine, kept me, disciplined to what we're training for, and just more focused and more comfortable, just because, I kind of knew stepping back into the bubble, what the I guess the surrounding area was going to be like. So
Thanks for the insights, man. Appreciate the time.
thank you so much.
Alex, Cage Side Press?
Hey, Brandon, this is Alex from Cage Side Press. So you have a 100% finish rate, and your opponent has only lost via knockout or submission. Is your plan to finish your opponent?
Yeah, my plan is always to try to finish my opponent. How I implement that, throughout the fight, goes on how he adjusts, because it's a chess match from second to second. A lot of times people think you're going to go out there and your game plan is to knock him out. Well, perfect world, absolutely. But in a realistic world, you got to have different strategies and be able to adjust from how your opponent's adjusting to you. So on a move by move basis, you go out there, you put your best foot forward, and you try to, one, put on a show, but also finish the fight every time. So
Awesome, man. Good luck.
thank you.
Ronald?
This is Ronald E. Smith from Getting Real. My question is just during that time, can I follow up on when you talked about how you had a gap break through that 3 years in your career, and including the pandemic. What kept you motivated to keep pushing whenever the fight world opened up again for yourself?
Well, my job in the Army right now is a hand-to-hand instructor for the Army for the combatives program. So, we're ingrained on a day-to-day basis to be out there training, to be out there training soldiers to master our skill set. So it's not like I'm removed from like going to the gym or going out and training with a dude. That's an everyday thing for us. Even with the pandemic, we did take a short halt as far as instruction. But overall, we do this is our job every single day. So
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Appreciate the time today.
thank you guys. You guys have a good day.
Right, up next we have Bruno. If you have a question for Bruno, go ahead and raise your hand, please.
Pode subir aqui já? Hi, hi. Hi.
All right, Max.
Hey, Bruno, this is Max Going from the Going Live podcast. Quick question for you. Your opponent seems to need a pretty early finish to sneak into the playoffs. Are you expecting some pressure in the first round?
Bruno, o seu oponente precisa de uma finalização aí. Precisa terminar a luta no primeiro round. Você espera pouco mais de dinamismo aí na parte dele, ele vir pra cima com tudo?
Treinei muito, estou muito bem preparado. Creio eu que ele vai vir com tudo aí para tentar se classificar para os playoffs. Mas estou muito bem preparado, cabeça boa. Vou fazer uma boa luta novamente, se Deus quiser.
I trained a lot, and I'm in a great mental space out here, at a great camp. That said, I do think he's going to come forward and try to wrap things up quickly, but I'm confident in my skill set and the fact that I'll be able to get out of there nice and quick.
Thanks so much and good luck.
Thank you.
Tanai.
Hey Bruno, this is Tanai from MMA Island. So you were a heavy underdog against Ante Dalia, but you knocked him out in the first round, and now you sit first on the standings for heavyweight. How did that make you feel?
Você era underdog aí pesadíssimo, né, na última luta aí contra o Delia e conseguiu nocauteá-lo aí no primeiro round em grande estilo. Como é que foi você se sentir?
Bom, igual eu disse, treinei muito, fiquei muito contente com o meu desempenho e, novamente, eu quero ter um grande desempenho igual da primeira luta aí.
As I said, I trained a lot and the result, I was able to showcase that with the result, and I expect the same type of outcome on PFL6.
Thank you, Bruno. Good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Drew.
Hey, Bruno, Drew Pierce, FightLead.com. Does it relieve any pressure or change any part of your mindset knowing that you're going into this second regular season fight at the top of the leaderboard?
A sua posição aí no ranking e o fato de você ter 6 pontos deixa você mais aliviado, com menos pressão para a segunda luta, considerando que o playoff já está essencialmente garantido?
Me sinto mais aliviado, mas vou fazer uma luta agressiva, meu estilo é esse, e quero dar um grande show aí para os fãs do PFL.
Yeah, I feel a little less pressure, and that's a good thing, but still, I want to put on a great show for PFL fans.
Thanks and best of luck.
Nicholas.
Bruno, you're facing someone that, much like you, likes to go for the finish. Does this fight excite you a lot more knowing that you're facing someone that doesn't go to decisions?
Você vai lutar com uma pessoa com um estilo similar ao seu aí no sentido de que as lutas com ele não costumam ir para decisão do juiz. Isso é uma coisa que te anima? Enfim, é o fato de você estar lutando contra um oponente que tem esse estilo agressivo?
Bom, com certeza a gente não vai fazer aquela luta chata, né, e feia. A gente vai fazer uma luta aí capaz de acabar no primeiro ou segundo round. Estou muito bem preparado e estou muito feliz aí para dar um grande show.
Absolutely. We're not planning on a boring fight. I expect this fight to be done within the first or second round, and I'm ready to put on a great show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Aldrich.
Aldrich Warner from Fight Dialogue. Hola, Marimu. Bruno, what's your mentality going into this fight?
Como é que tá a cabeça aí entrando nessa luta?
Cara, tô muito feliz e isso eu acho que é a principal coisa. Tô muito bem preparado também fisicamente, mentalmente. Então tenho certeza que eu vou dar um grande show aí pra galera.
I'm very happy and very well prepared mentally, so rest assured I'll be putting on a great show for the fans.
Obrigado, and good luck to you on Friday.
Obrigado.
Max, did you have another question?
Yeah, Bruno, this is Max going again from the Going Live podcast. Your last loss was in 2018 to rising contender in the UFC, Yuri Prochaska. I was just wondering if you learned anything specifically from that fight that might have helped you in your dominant performance at PFL3.
Sua última derrota foi contra o Diri, né? Do UFC hoje em dia. Sabia se você aprendeu alguma coisa com aquela derrota que você aplica no seu jogo hoje em dia.
Após minha derrota para ele, eu fiquei quase 3 anos parado. Evolui muito mentalmente, tecnicamente, então acho que isso, a derrota me ensinou muito. E hoje em dia eu estou aqui bem preparado, acho que é por causa disso, por causa da derrota aí que eu tive.
Absolutely. After my fight against Yuri, I was out for 3 years, and that matured me as a fighter, matured me as a person, and I learned an awful lot from that. And I feel like it's experiences like that, growing experiences like that put me in a position I'm at right now.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Ronald.
This is Ronald E. Smith from Getting Real. My question, Bruno, is just, I would love to know throughout your career for yourself, what has kept you motivated and kept pushing you to keep growing and push for the big things in your life?
No decorrer da sua vida, o que te motivou em você crescer e buscar o seu sonho?
Além da minha vontade, com certeza minha família. Eu luto aí para dar um futuro melhor para o meu filho, para minha esposa. Então acho que o alicerce de tudo aí, para mim, além de Deus, é minha família.
The main thing is my family. It's my drive to win and to be a better mixed martial artist, but also to provide a better future for my wife and my son. And other than that, just to please my God.
And to just throw one more question, have you had to change anything for during this fight camp to prepare for this fight?
Could you repeat the question? I don't know if I understood the second part.
Yes, no problem. I just want to know, has he had to change anything to prepare for this fight?
Se mudou alguma coisa aí para se preparar para essa luta?
Bom, eu continuei treinando com grandes nomes, então estou preparado tanto para a luta em pé quanto no chão, então não mudou muito, não. Eu tendo a cabeça boa, igual eu tô, estando feliz, eu acho que eu vou... Acho não, tenho certeza que eu vou fazer uma grande luta.
Nothing's changed internally. I'm still training and sparring against great names in the industry, and nothing's changed on my side as well. Still have a great mindset and healthy and well prepared.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Suki?
Hey, Bruno, we know you're a big time striker. And so the one thing I want to ask you before your Delidia fight, you were actually training with Ricardo Almeida, big name fighters like Frankie Edgar, Corey Anderson. So I just wanted to say, is your jiu-jitsu game coming along well? Can we maybe see you submit someone in the first round?
Antes dessa luta aí, você estava treinando com o Ricardo Almeida, com a Frankie Edgar, Corey Anderson. Como é que tá o seu jiu-jitsu aí? Existe a chance do pessoal aqui te ver finalizando alguém essa semana?
Treinei muito lá com o Cachorrão. Também, meu último camp eu fiz lá na Nova União com o mestre Dedé Pederneiras. Meu jiu-jitsu aí tem evoluído muito. Se surgir a oportunidade de finalizar aí, com certeza vou estar finalizando, mas eu prefiro aí minha parte em pé e meu strike. E então, estou preparado para ambas as partes aí.
Yeah, I trained with Ricardo Almeida a year ago or so, and my camp for the Delia fight, I did it at Nova União in Rio de Janeiro with Master Andre Pederneiras. So I've been training a lot, been working a lot on my jiu-jitsu. So I'm confident on that side, but striking is my bread and butter. So that's always where I'm gonna resort to first. But if an opportunity arises to submit my opponent, I'll certainly take care of it.
Beautiful answer. Thank you so much. We look forward to it. Good luck.
Thank you, brother.
Aldrich?
Hey, Bruno, Algernon from Fight Dialogue. Outside of fighting, what do you enjoy doing in your spare time?
Fora lutar, o que você gosta de fazer aí como hobby?
Cara, eu sou viciado em videogame aí. Jogo videogame, computador, gosto de passear bastante com minha família. Então, meu maior hobby, assim, eu acho que é os jogos mesmo.
I love a good video game. I'm a gamer at heart. Between video games and computers, that's where I spend most of my time off, aside from spending quality time with my family, of course.
And what are your favorite video games that you like to play?
Quais são seus jogos aí de preferência?
Pô, gosto muito de jogar aí Call of Duty, Warzone, FIFA, UFC, diversidade de jogos aí, mas meus principais são esses daí que eu acabei de falar.
I love playing Call of Duty Warzone, FIFA, and the UFC game.
That's cool. Obrigado, boa sorte.
Obrigado.
Dylan?
Hey there. I was just curious because there was the loss in, 2018 to Yuri Prohaska, and then there was a pretty pronounced delay, almost 3 years, but then the comeback victory, getting the stoppage in less than a minute. I'm kind of wondering how much relief there was getting back to the win column just with the spacing between the fights there.
Como foi o alívio na sua cabeça em voltar aí vitorioso depois dos 3 anos e da derrota pelo dia?
Bom, fiquei muito contente, porque isso não é um sonho só para mim, é um sonho para os meus pais também. E meus pais dedicaram a vida inteira aí a me ajudar a eu chegar aí onde eu estou hoje, então estou muito feliz.
I was extremely happy because in the end of the day, this is not just a win for me, it's a win for my parents. They've sacrificed a whole lot to let me pursue my dreams and to make sure that I got to where I am now. So I couldn't be happier.
Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.
Tonight?
Hey Bruno, Tanai again from MMA Island. So the Copa America is on right now, and Brazil is looking really good. 2 games, they've won both of them. Do you think they bring the cup home?
Na Copa América agora, o Brasil aí tá jogando bem. 2 jogos, 2 vitórias. Você acha que o Brasil traz a taça para casa?
Bom, o Brasil é um celeiro aí de grandes jogadores. Tenho certeza, se não trouxer, vai chegar lá para a final, que a galera ali do Brasil tem bastante raça.
Absolutely. Brazil is a cradle for the best soccer there is. So I'm confident that if we don't take the cup back, if we don't bring the cup back home this year, then just most definitely the finals.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any more questions for Bruno before we let him go? Okay, thank you so much, Bruno.
Thank you so
Appreciate it.
much. Bye.
Thank you. All right, guys. If you have a question for Larissa, please go ahead and raise your hand. We'll start with Roz.
Hi, Larissa. How are you?
Good.
Good, 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 good. So I wanted to ask you about your next opponent. I mean, she's obviously on a 3-5 losing streak, but before that she was doing pretty well. She was unbeaten. What are your thoughts about her and the fight itself? And obviously, with so many submissions and on her part with so many finishes, do you see it going the distance?
Pouco da sua oponente, ela que enfim, nunca tinha perdido, né? Até 3 lutas atrás, vem numa sequência aí pouco ingrata. Como você vê essa luta?
A minha oponente, eu vejo ela como uma grande atleta, assim, óbvio, mas eu acredito que a minha qualidade técnica é muito melhor que a dela. Ela é lenta, ela é grande, pesada, então isso me favorece bastante, tanto na trocação quanto no chão. Eu vejo que hoje eu tô, acho que, bem superior a algumas atletas aqui. Então, é uma luta que jamais sem subestimar ninguém, mas é uma luta muito boa para mim.
I see this as a great fight for me. I do see myself as a different level than the vast majority of the people in this division. Looking at Elena, she's bigger, she is heavier, she is slower. So I feel like I'm an advantage in a lot of different aspects of it.
Thank you, thank you. And just one more. I mean, everyone's talking about the bubble, the inability to go out, socialize with everyone else being allowed to do it on the outside. Tell me how that has been for you personally, and how do you manage, your mental health and your preparation going into a fight of, this magnitude?
Como é que você descreve aqui essa operação, esse esquema todo da PFL, tem que ficar aqui dentro? Como é que você lida com isso aí na questão de saúde mental, né? Não poder estar saindo daqui.
Eu não achei ruim, não. Lógico que tem alguns momentos em que a gente acaba ficando um pouco isolado, né? Mas a minha vida inteira foi treinar e me preparar e ficar isolado de certa forma. Eu treino desde meus 15 anos, então a minha vida sempre foi assim, treino, casa, bem parecido com que está sendo a bolha. Então, para mim tá super tranquilo, eu tô bem, eu consigo falar com a minha esposa, eu falo com os meus amigos, eu busco manter a minha saúde mental bem equilibrada. E é isso, tá sendo tranquilo para mim.
I wouldn't necessarily complain about it. I think this is a reflection of what my life's been since I started training at age 15. It's mostly just training, resting, eating, nothing too extravagant. While being out here, I've been in touch with my wife, been in touch with my friends. So I don't really see much of a difference as far as what's being offered here and the life I live outside of the book.
Thank you. That was very insightful. Best of luck on Thursday.
Max?
Hey Larissa, this is Max Going from the Going Live podcast. You only have 4 losses on your career so far, and all of them were to very accomplished MMA fighters. Were you able to take anything specific away from those experiences that have helped you that have translated into that dominant performance at PFL3?
Você tem cartão vasto aí, mas só com 4 derrotas e as 4 para oponentes de grandes nomes. Você teve a capacidade de extrair partes positivas aí dessas derrotas para que levaram a esse resultado positivo aí na sua performance aqui no PFL3?
Com certeza, eu nunca perdi para uma atleta que fosse menos que campeã hoje em dia. Todas já foram campeãs, a atual é campeã. A última luta, né, que foi para Kayla, então ela é campeã. Eu sempre tive ali perto delas o tempo todo. Acredito que a experiência de perder em determinado momento, superar a derrota, buscar a brecha para evoluir, buscar onde foi que eu errei, onde foi que faltou treino, que faltou isso e aquilo, eu pude corrigir. E a gente está sempre evoluindo, né? Eu acho que hoje eu estou podendo mostrar mais o meu trabalho e me capacitando cada vez mais, evoluindo, enfim, amadurecendo como atleta.
Absolutely. If you look at my losses, I've never lost to someone that was not either a current champion or that eventually became a champion. So this is something I carry with me in terms of absorbing and learning from those defeats.
Thank you so much and good luck.
Thank you.
Gabriel Gonzalez.
Hello, Larissa. My question, you've obviously had a great run in PFL so far, and you've been with the promotion. My question is, how do you feel you've been able to grow as a martial artist with the opponents that you've been given?
Está com a PFL agora essa segunda temporada. Como é que você enxerga o seu crescimento como artista marcial em relação aos oponentes que foram postos aí à sua frente ao longo desses 2 anos?
Eu acho que eu entrei aqui na PFL como uma atleta que estava meio desacreditada, né, por conta do cenário, devido às minhas derrotas, o tempo que eu passei com o braço quebrado, enfim. Mas atualmente eu consigo mostrar mais o meu trabalho, mostro a evolução a cada combate, bati já em atletas grandes, um nome que foi significativo aqui dentro, acho que foi a Sarah Kaufman, que é uma atleta totalmente experiente, e isso não me amedrontou em nenhum momento, pelo contrário, eu mostrei que sou tão boa quanto ela. Sou a única atleta que conseguiu chegar na pontuação com a Kayla, então, que é uma atleta de ponta e é a atual campeã. Então eu tô aqui mostrando o que realmente eu sou, mostrando a minha evolução, mostrando o meu valor como atleta e mostrando que eu sou tão grande quanto elas.
Yeah, I came into the PFL after a long layoff, and a lot of people doubted me after I had a heart injury. And I'm here to show my value, show about my great performances, show that I'm on the same level as some of the great fighters I've faced over the course of my career. A great example is my win against Sarah Kaufman in the 2019 season, which is not something that the MMA community were necessarily expecting. And the 2 fights against Kayla that I was able to take it the distance when no one else has been able to.
Thank you.
Hey Larissa, Tanai here from MMA Island. You got the quick 6, the first round finish in your first fight this season. Will you be looking for another finish, or will you be just cruising along and make sure you're healthy enough for the playoffs?
Conseguiu faturar 6 pontos aí na primeira luta. A intenção para essa são 6 pontos de novo, ou é uma coisa mais conservadora aí para garantir a sua saúde?
Eu nunca consigo fazer um combate que seja mais ou menos ou controlado, uma coisa assim. Sempre vai conforme eu tô sentindo e a intensidade da luta. Então, conforme for a intensidade dessa luta, que provavelmente não vai ser pouca, vai ser a ideia de garantir sempre os 6 pontos e sempre a vitória, independente de como vier.
Personally, I don't think I'm able to hold myself back or pace myself to manage a result. When I'm fighting, it's all systems go, and I'll make sure to seize on an opportunity. I think this is going to be an action-packed fight, so I feel like I'll be able to capitalize on an opportunity here or there to wrap things up early and bring home 6 points.
Thank you, Larissa. Good luck on Friday.
This is Ronald E. Smith from Getting Real. I just want to follow up on a statement you brought before about the accomplishments that you did, but people somehow still also overlook you and look more on maybe Kayla just dominating this tournament. So I just want to know, just for your opinion, Why do you feel so many people still overlook you?
Por que você acha que tanta gente ainda te subestima, considerando o seu poder aqui dentro dessa divisão e as batalhas aí que você travou contra aquilo?
Antes disso acontecer, o meu nome, eu sou sempre dada como zebra, como atleta que já perdeu para tantas outras, são sempre vistas as minhas derrotas, nunca as minhas vitórias. Atualmente, com o nocaute que eu fiz agora no começo dessa primeira da temporada desse ano, as pessoas se surpreenderam, porque até então a minha oponente ainda era atleta que bateu num cara, que lutou com um tigre, e enfim, eu mato um leão todo dia, eu treino com um homem todo dia, eu luto com homens todos os dias, e isso não me faz diferente, não me faz menor. Eu acho que assim, eu tô conseguindo mostrar o que eu realmente sou, a atleta de qualidade que eu sou agora, com maturidade, com experiência atlética, né? Com experiência na luta e com maturidade mental também. Eu cresci. Quando minha carreira deu um boom, eu tinha 19 anos de idade. Hoje eu vou fazer 27, com uma outra cabeça, com uma outra estrutura. Então, acho que hoje as pessoas estão começando a me respeitar dentro do cenário.
These days, people are starting to respect me a little bit more in the MMA scene. Back when I joined the PFL, people would only look at the losses and who I had lost to. Oh, it's a big name, but no one would ever look at the wins I had, my record. Even before my fight against Julia, people were looking at her as a prospect. And, oh, she fought against a man and beat a man. Oh, she fought a tiger. I train against guys at the gym every single day. I kill a lion every single day. That does not make me a better or worse fighter. This is just who I am. This is the way I prepare. And I feel like day after day, time after time, I'm getting the recognition that I deserve.
Thank you very much.
Hi, this is Curtis Calhoun with Low Kick MMA. Can you tell us about the things you focused on with your training during the time off in 2020 and how that's helped you here in 2021?
O que você focou em 2020 e como é que isso está te ajudando em 2021?
Eu achei que realmente poderia fazer mais alguma luta, né? No ano de 2020 a gente teve a reunião aí com a PFL e eles disseram que possivelmente poderia rolar alguma luta no final do ano, mas a gente viu que a pandemia se prolongou e foi tudo piorando cada vez mais, principalmente no Brasil. Então eu aproveitei esse tempo, eu e o meu mestre, o JB, a gente equipou a academia e aí nós conseguimos fazer com que fosse um espaço melhor, mais confortável para mim, me mudei para o lado da academia, treinava como se tivesse uma competição, já esperando a de 2021 acontecer. Então, ano passado, apesar de muito conturbado para todo mundo, acho que para o mundo inteiro, eu consegui trabalhar.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
So, when I got the call from the PFL and the season was suspended, we were still training at a little bit of a lower pace, but eventually there started being rumors that we might have a show on towards the end of the year. That eventually, we eventually learned that was not true given the COVID restrictions and how far the virus was going, especially in Brazil. But that gave my coach and I, JB, an opportunity to just work on other stuff. We got our gym and equipped it with more stuff that ultimately helps me in my preparation. I moved. I'm now living door to door with the gym, and I was training as if I had a fight booked. I was as consistent as I could possibly be, as consistent as I am now. So I feel like I gained a lot from 2020.
Michael Morales.
Representante todo
Brasil para o PFL.
Michael, could you type your question into the chat? We're getting a lot of feedback over here. All right, Tariq.
Hey, Larissa, this is Tariq from the Havoc Hour. So, in the 2019 season, you felt confident that you could beat Kayla after the first fight you guys had. Obviously, she didn't finish you, but she did win the championship in the end. With you guys potentially headed to the playoffs again this season, how do you feel it goes differently if you guys fight?
Quando você lutou com a Kayla a primeira vez em 2019, você sentiu que num segundo embate, na final, você tinha condições de ganhar dela? E uma continuação dessa pergunta, vocês dois já estão muito bem encaminhados aí para o playoff, como é que você encaram a terceira luta contra ela?
Na primeira luta, eu peguei a luta com 5 dias. Na verdade, mudou a oponente dela, né? Eu substituí a oponente dela com 5 dias. Então, não teve estudo, não teve nada. Eu só vim no foco para lutar, como que eu faria com qualquer outro atleta. E aí, no final do ano, eu achei óbvio que a gente trabalha acreditando nisso, no êxito. Eu achei que sim, que poderia ganhar dela. Mas a questão da estrutura, eu senti que estruturalmente ela estava mais bem equipada do que eu. E para esse ano, eu já entrei esse ano no foco de ganhar, né? Nesse ano não, no ano passado. Desde o ano passado treinando, eu estou treinando para ganhar. Independente de ser ela ou não, mas eu acredito que seja nós dois na final, né? Então, a minha preparação toda é para enfrentar ela, sempre foi para enfrentar ela pela terceira vez e hoje com uma cabeça totalmente diferente, pensando e revendo os erros a cada dia, a cada treino é um foco para oponente atual e o outro para ela.
So, when I first fought Kayla, I ended up getting matched up against her because her opponent couldn't make it out to fight. So PFL had to reshuffle a couple things, and I only heard that I was fighting Kayla 5 days out of the actual fight. So there wasn't really a lot of preparation towards that. It was just, you got to fight this person, and then that's it. There's not really room for much of a conversation. Whereas for the second camp, I was able to prepare for her. Obviously, I came in short. She succeeded there, and ever since then, every single camp I get myself into, or whenever I'm preparing for my next opponent, as well as for Kayla, for when the time comes and I get my third matchup against her.
Thanks a lot. Good luck on Friday.
Question here from Michael Morales. What does it feel for you to have the opportunity to represent Belém and all of Brazil at the PFL? Como é que você se sente representando Belém e Brasil na PFL?
Eu fico muito feliz, né? Eu sou patriota, então eu defendo o meu estado, defendo minha cidade, né? Eu sou de Belém, mas Marituba é onde eu me criei e eu sempre representei a cidade. E mostrar para o mundo que um lugar tão pequeno pode ter um atleta tão grande e mostrar também que se a gente houver mais investimento nos projetos sociais, que foi de onde eu saí, a gente pode mudar a vida de outras Larissas, de outros meninos, de diversas crianças que podem ser um campeão ou vencer na vida de alguma outra forma.
I carry the flag of Brazil and Belém with extreme pride. I'm a patriot at heart, and more than that, I enjoy representing my city, which is Marituba, which is on the outskirts of Belém, and my home state in Brazil, as a way to show the future generations that there should be investment in social projects of social justice, which is the ones that got me through and put me in the position I'm at right now, and that a small town can have a star of national caliber like myself.
Nicholas, did you have another question?
Yes, I do. So, Larissa, we've seen you as a fight in the professional level for almost 10 years now. In your opinion, how have you seen the opportunities in MMA change for women, not just from Brazil, but from Latin America compared to when you first began in 2012?
Clarissa, a gente está acompanhando a sua carreira já tem 10 anos. Como é que você vê a mudança aí de oportunidades oferecidas a mulheres no MMA, tanto no Brasil quanto no cenário internacional?
Hoje em dia tá muito grande, né? Perto de quando eu comecei, tá totalmente diferente. A gente vê que os eventos estão dando mais oportunidades, que o cenário feminino aí tá cada vez crescendo mais. E a gente já tá até numa categoria que até que, uns 5 anos atrás nem cogitava em existir, né? E já temos diversas categorias, temos atletas aí que são campeãs de grandes eventos. O cenário para a mulher tá ficando mais aberto, né? A gente só reclama da questão de salário, né? A gente pode ganhar que nem os caras também, até porque a gente luta tão bem quanto eles. Então, vamos, vamos igualar isso daí.
It's fantastic to witness this growth, not only in exposure, but also in talent and the infrastructure that's offered for us women. We now see more major events worldwide with all sorts of women's weight classes, and it's amazing to see. It's amazing to see the difference in the elevation of skill set between 10 years ago and today. And the one thing we still have to work on is payment quality. We compete as well as the men and should be paid for.
Thank you.
Any last questions for Larissa before we let her go? Tanai, thank you.
Hey Larissa, Tanai from MMA Island. This is obviously your second bubble with the PFL in Atlantic City. How's it been preparation wise, and do you feel ready for the fight?
Segunda experiência aqui na bolha da PFL, como é que foi a preparação e como é que você está se sentindo aí em relação à luta?
A preparação foi muito boa, né? A PFL deu uma estrutura aqui pra gente poder ter espaço de treino, de luta, tem a academia também, quando a gente, enfim, pode cortar o peso. A gente tá bem estruturado aqui. O meu treinamento foi bom. Eu tô 100% preparada, meu gás tá bem, meu corpo tá bem, minha mente tá 100%. Então, tá tudo certo.
Experiences out here were great. PFL provided us with everything we need from training areas to cardio rooms to actual mat space and the cage itself. So that's been great, and the camp was amazing as well. I'm in great shape physically and mentally too.
Thank you, Larissa.
All right, thank you so much, Larissa.
Thank
you
you.
for your time. All right, guys, we're just going to take a quick 3-minute break. I apologize, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. And we have Kayla with us. So if you have a question for Miss Kayla, go ahead and raise your hand, please. All right, Gabriel, please.
Hello, Kayla. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. So just the one question, the obvious one. You obviously did interviews and you said you weren't exactly pumped up to put the nail in the coffin against Cindy. Now that the fight is closer, has that gotten easier?
Yeah, I mean, it's business week, it's fight week, you know, all of the human emotions kind of have to go away and you got to become the Terminator. So just business.
Thank you.
Barcelona?
Yeah, Kayla, Jim Barcelona, Miami Herald. Just curious with the fighting schedule now, and I know none of the fighters want to look ahead, but it's so cool that the playoffs are going to be in South Florida this year. It's going to be at the Hard Rock Hotel Casino. I just want your thoughts of bringing PFL down to South Florida, near where you train at American Top Team.
Oh, I'm beyond jacked up about it. I feel like it's a great time to come to Florida. It's a great time to open back up to fans, and then we'll have an entire crowd full of not just my fans, but I think in general we just have a ton of fighters in the crowd. So if there's not a lot of action in the cage, you'll have some outside the cage. No, Florida's great. Come to Florida. Everyone wants to be there.
Thank you.
Ronald.
This is Ronald E. Smith from Getting Real. Kayla, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Can't complain. And this question here for you is more for next month for the Olympics. And you brought up in a previous interviews talked about because when you were at a point after the Olympics wondering what's next, what's now for me, and a lot of those athletes are going to go into the same thoughts that you went through. So if you could, what words would you give them just to get them prepared, but also to get them motivated when that time does come?
Yeah, I mean, I think right now their focus should be the Olympics. It should be, you know, they've prepared for now 5 years minimum for this moment. And I think after it's over, just to remember to enjoy it, soak it up. You know, you worked hard to get to this spot, and remember to breathe, and surround yourself with good people and figure out your next moves. But remember to breathe and enjoy it. It goes by really quick.
Thank you.
Gabriel Gonzalez.
Yeah. Kayla, I want to know just stylistically, what challenges do you think Cindy does bring inside the cage?
I think that she's just a game fighter, you know. She's been around the block. She's very experienced. She's a veteran of the sport. She's fought in pretty much every promotion. I know she's got some funky submissions and stuff like that. I know she has a judo background. I've seen her do a couple throws in her fights. So it'll be interesting to feel maybe someone tried to throw me for the first time in 5 years. But I think it's going to be a good fight. I'm excited to showcase some of my new skills and continue to dominate.
Breeze.
Hey, Kayla, it's Breeze with the MMA Breeze. I just wanted to ask, you touched on it right there a little bit, but how do you see the grappling exchanges going with her? Cindy does have a grappling background as well. She spoke on it before you got here and said that she would be comfortable even if she does go to her back. But I wanted to get your perspective. How do you see those exchanges going?
I see them being pretty one-sided. And God bless Cindy, but I think she should expect to be on her back.
Thank you so much.
Tariq.
Hey, Kayla, this is Tariq from the Havoc Hour. So my question is more so about, like, how's the balance been now that you're a mom and, you got to go in here in the cage and become this monster essentially. Because I think if anyone who's seen your fights lately, I think the last 2 fights you've been like really unleashing more of a savage that I don't even think we've seen the best Kayla Harrison yet. So
Yeah.
what's that been like, kind of managing the two going forward?
Well, I mean, fighting is my outlet, Of course, when I first got the kids, it was definitely a struggle to find the balance between training, making sure I'm the best mom I can be, making sure they're doing everything they need to be doing, putting food on the table, making dinner for 3 people instead of me just munching on whatever's left, having a rigorous schedule, things like that. But, training and competing, fighting have always been my happy place. They've always been my outlet. And, being a mom is something I always wanted to be, was a little nervous about, a little anxious for, a little scared of. So besides being a mom, being in the cage is where I feel like I'm most myself. That's the real Kayla in there, getting to unleash.
Awesome, champ. Good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Hey, Kayla, Tanai here from MMA Island. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What did you make of Clarissa Shields' MMA debut at PFL4?
Yeah, I think, we all knew she was going to have some holes. We all expected that. I think it was impressive that she was able to come back and dig deep and find a win. But that's what winners do, they find a way. So I was impressed with her perseverance. And I think that, she's got a long way to go. And I know she's young. I know she's hungry. I know she's motivated. So I'm excited to watch her journey.
Thank you so much. Good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Alex, cage side.
Hey, Kayla, it's Alex from Cage Side Press. So, your promo that you dropped last time kind of broke the internet. Do you have another one planned?
I don't plan these things. They just kind of happen. No, I'm just going to start being honest. I'm just going to say what I think from now on.
Well, thank you for that. I do have a follow-up. You posted on your Instagram a couple weeks ago that you said that for you, it's not practice makes perfect, but it's always been perfect practice makes perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Can you kind of explain that?
Yeah, so that's sort of it's a quote I stole from my judo coach Jimmy Pedro, but I'm gonna go ahead and claim it. I have more followers. No, it's really just the concept of, I don't go into practice and I don't half-ass training. I don't show up and just go through the motions. Everything I do, I try and do to the best of my ability. Perfect practice makes perfect, whether it's, this is, again, I've said it a million times, this is the way I live my life, whether it's doing the dishes, whether it's being a mom, whether it's perfecting a kick, whether it's, getting the perfect double leg. Perfect practice makes perfect. And, I make fun of my coach because a lot of times we'll be drilling something and he'll go, "Oh, that was terrible." And I'm like, "Oh, geez, tell me how you really feel." But then I'll do it right. And he's like, that's it. You got it right there. That's it. He's very he's either that was terrible or that's perfect. Let's keep going. He's one or the other. So I'm always trying to get that's it right there. That was good. That was good. Getting better all the time. That's what I'm trying to get every single rep that I make.
Awesome. Thank you, Kayla.
MMA locker room. MMA locker room, are you there? All right, we will come back. Curtis.
Hey, Kayla, this is Curtis Calhoun with Low Kick MMA. Good to talk to you again. As mentioned earlier, you trained down at American Top Team. Can you kind of talk about how working with them helped make your transition to MMA easier and the impact they've had on your career?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, the volume of work speaks for itself. We have a young, up and coming crew of undefeated fighters. I'm one amongst them. I quickly realized when I went to ATT that was going to be the place for me. I've always felt like if you want to be the best, you have to train with the best. That's why I moved to Boston to train with the Pedros when I was 16. And that's why a month after I visited ATT, I packed up all my stuff and moved down there because I wanted to train with the best coaches. I wanted to train with the best training partners. I wanted to train with the best female in the world, at the best gym in the world. And, you know, the thing I love about ATT is there's no guesswork. There's no blind leading the blind. There's no like, oh, we're going to maybe do this today, and today we're going to try this, and then maybe we'll do this. There's a system, and systems create winners.
Thanks, Kayla. Appreciate the time.
My pleasure.
Michael Morales.
Hey, Kayla, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Everything good here. Thank you very much for your time. I wanted to ask you, you are currently PFL's biggest attraction. How does it feel to be the MVP, the main event player for this franchise?
You know, it's an honor. Pressure is a privilege, and I worked hard to get here. I spent years on a mat where nobody noticed me, and then I got my 15 minutes in London and another 15 minutes in Rio, and I've busted my ass for a long time to get to this point. And I think they picked the right horse because I've got big shoulders, and I'm ready to carry this league.
Awesome. Thank you very much, and good luck on Thursday.
Thank you.
MMA Locker Room.
The fights are Friday, everyone.
Hey, how's it going? This is MMA Locker Room, part of Pub Sports Radio. I just want to say today's my daughter's birthday. She's 8 years old. She's a big fan of yours.
What's her name?
Her name's Nikara.
Nikara, happy 8th birthday. My daughter's 8 too.
Thank you, thank you. Now, here's the question. Amanda Nunes, Christian Cyborg, Valentina Shevchenko. Tell us why you're the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
I didn't say I'm the best there is yet. I said I will be. And you know, I'm not disputing that those fighters are all better fighters than me at this point in time, but I believe with the method to my madness, with the coaching staff behind me, with the self-confidence that I have, with the athletic ability that I have, with the hard work ethic that I have, the mental fortitude that I have, I will go down as the best. I will go down as the greatest of all time. I have to be given an opportunity, and I have to go out there and prove it, but I'm ready to do it.
Empire Universe.
Hey, Kayla. Luke from Empire Universe Podcast. How are you doing today?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm just great, thank you. So, listen, I mean, you and Cindy, you both possess the judo and ground skills. So, is this going to be one of those fights that could potentially just be a stand-up fight?
Nobody knows. I don't have a specific game plan right now. I think, you know, the goal is just go out there and instill my will, continue to gain experience inside the cage, that precious cage time that you can't emulate anywhere else. And yeah, I'm ready to go out there and kill.
Good luck on Friday night.
Thank you.
Drew.
Hey, Kayla, Drew Pierce, FightLeague.com. Does it relieve any pressure or change any part of the game plan knowing that you're going into this last regular season bout at the top of your leaderboard?
No, I think all the pressure is the pressure that I put on myself internally. You know, when you have a O at the end of your record, it becomes a little more intense every single fight. And it's something that people tune into and pay attention to. So, you know, my goal is to win the tournament. My goal is to win the season. My goal is to remain undefeated. My goal is to be the best there ever was. So being the top of a leaderboard is great, but that's not the ultimate goal.
Awesome. Thanks. Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right. Any more questions for Kayla? Awesome. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Kayla, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming out today. All right, guys, and that wraps up our PFL6 Virtual Media Day. As always, I appreciate you guys for coming. As soon as I get this Zoom process, I will send it over, and we will see you on Friday night for the post-fight press conference.
Thanks, Donnie.
Thanks, guys. Have a good rest of your day.
Thanks, Tony. You too. Bye-bye.